you going, guys? Thanks again for joining us on another walkabout. Once again in a new area, so I've been hiking for about 4 hours, fair bit of bush bashing. I think I found a pretty cool spot to set up camp. Give you a quick look around. So I've got the river just down there. There's a nice grass tree with Xanthoria. Plenty of red gums and gummy lilies around. It's a little bit rocky, but there are some flat areas with some sort of sandy parts, so yeah, so I should be able to find a spot to set up camp. I'll give you a quick look of the river as well. It's a pretty nice spot. Yeah, so it's probably about 2:30 now. Probably got probably about 3 o'clock now. It's probably got about 2 hours left of sunlight, so might get a wriggle on and get camp set up. So I'm just poking around the bush trying to find a place to set up camp and just have a little bit of a look around. Stumbled across a pretty cool cave. So it's a pretty decent size, pretty decent size one. It looks like I'm not the first person to be here because someone's constructed a little wall. I'm guessing it's like a windbreak or something. They've also got some wood piled back there. It's a pretty good sized cave though. It's not too big but not too small. Nice flat area where you could either sleep down there or have a fire. And a really decent sized overhang. There's no way you'd get wet sleeping in here. So yeah, this could be an option to sleep in, but it's pretty shrubby behind me, so it's not very comfortable to sort of come in and out of camp. So I might sort of keep looking around and maybe just sling up the tarp and the hammock or the tarp and the mat. Yeah, I haven't quite decided yet, but I'll see what I find. Just walking through the bush and almost walk right into him. It's definitely one way to ruin your day. It's a golden orb spider. I seem to have a habit of almost walking right into their webs. Pretty impressive spider though. Alright, well hopefully you guys can hear me. It's a bit windy the Savo, so yeah, I haven't quite got a mic yet for the camera, so bear with me, hopefully it's not too bad, but I think I found a good spot to set up the camp. So I'm just going to, it's a pretty flat area, there's a few stones just around here, but I sort of poked around, I think I can move them away. I'm probably going to sleep on my Nemo inflatable mattress tonight and just have a little tarp shelter over the top of me, so it should be sweet. Yeah, right next to a giant grass tree, which should be pretty cool. Yeah, so let's get that set up. Yeah, so one thing I should mention is when it's windy, you gotta be careful of where you set up camp because you don't want a branch falling on you in the middle of the night. And so, yeah, just above me there is a tree. Most of it's alive, so it should be sweet. There is sort of 1 or 2 branches that are dead. But there's no other branches knocking it against him to knock him out of the tree, so it should be fine. It's also a little bit sort of off center to where I'm going to set up camp, so if it does fall, it should hopefully fall beside me, but I think it should be right. So I just want to try and clear some of the clear the ground and make a flat, level area to sleep. You just want to be careful there's no funnel web spiders or anything underneath the rock. But looks good. So this is dead, so I'm just going to rip that out. So I've just made a pretty clear area, moved any rocks or debris, so that should be a good spot to sleep tonight. Right, change of plan guys. I actually decided to put the hammock in the tarp up instead because the floor space of the area I was going to make the Adirondack shelter just wasn't big enough, and then it started to get a bit too dark. I didn't want to muck around trying to find another bigger spot, so I just put up the hammock in the tarp now, and then tomorrow I'll muck around, maybe make a different shelter tomorrow. Yeah, so because it's pretty sandy around here, there's lots of grass and other plants that seem to have their root system going through this grass, through the sand. I decided to get a big flat rock and put it down just to get up off the ground, so that way the fire won't catch alight any of the roots, and who knows, it can sort of keep smouldering underneath the ground even after you put it out, so it's always good to do that. Just scraping back some of the paper bark. Caught pretty quickly, which is good. It's a nice looking fire. Hopefully you can hear me guys. It's a bit windy tonight. That's why I've kind of chucked up a bit more of a larger rock to try and stop the embers flying away. It's a little bit dangerous when it gets a bit windy, so just having a real small fire. But yeah, so I'm gonna chuck some food on now. Just got a cob of corn. I don't even bother wrapping in foil. This is pretty much its own natural protector, so I usually just chuck it in like that. Let's try and cover it with some. I haven't got too many coals because I've been trying to keep a pretty small fire, but yeah, that should be sweet. I'll just keep rotating that, and that should cook. I think I'll also chuck on some kangaroo steak as well, so put that on in a second. Yeah, so like I said, I've got a bit of kangaroo steak here. It's already been marinated. I think I put whole grain mustard, some garlic and herb salt, and some bush spice, and some crushed up garlic as well. Yeah, so real tasty marinade. Yeah, so I'm sure if you've seen some other videos, you'll notice that I tend to eat a lot of kangaroo steak. Yeah, I just think it's a really good meat to eat. You can get about, in a packet, you get about 3 or 4 of these for about $10. So it's pretty good value, I reckon. Yeah, and it's just really good sustainable meat to eat if you live in Australia. So much prefer this over than beef. It's time to turn this bad boy over. Oh yeah, looks pretty good. I think the corn's coming along too. It's probably nearly about ready. Probably do a little bit more. Oops. Yeah, I think the steak could do with a little bit more, but I think this corn's about ready. Yeah, so it's started to peel away a little bit, but hasn't got too burnt. That's pretty good. Yeah, so that's it's pretty much perfect. The only thing I just realised is I forgot some butter and salt as well, so it's gonna be plain old corn, but yeah, looks pretty good. Yeah, so I think it's about done. You can tell it's starting to bleed out the top a little bit, so usually means it's ready. Yeah, so there we go. Looks like some pretty good grub to me. The moment of truth. Let's see if this bad boy's cooked. Oh. Yeah, pretty perfect. Kangaroo is naturally a tougher meat as well, so you don't want to overcook it, but that looks pretty good. Oh man, that's delicious. Yeah, so I thought I'd show you what beers I bought for the trip for tonight, tomorrow night. They're both Young Henrys. Young Henrys is a local craft brewery out of Newtown in Sydney. The guys who run the joint are absolute legends. Really cool guys. And funny enough, they actually got me to design this can for them. So yeah, like in my day-to-day life, I'm a photographer and an illustrator, and they came across my illustrations online about a year or so ago, and then they asked me to design their winter hop ale. This is their summer hop ale, but yeah, they got me to design another one in the middle of last year, and they were really stoked with how it turned out, that they got me to design another one in summer, and it's proved real popular, this beer, that they've decided to keep it on for the rest of the year. This is their other core range, which is the Newtowner. That's a really good beer too, very sessionable beer. But yeah, I think you can find them in a lot of bottlers, especially around Sydney. But they've started to expand more interstate, in sort of Queensland and Melbourne and such. So yeah, if you can track it down, I definitely recommend trying to find them, because they're a really good drop, especially if you love your craft beers. So yeah, Young Henrys, definitely check them out. Oh, good morning guys. It was pretty cold last night. Probably got down to about, I reckon, about 4 or 5 or 6 degrees. So pretty chilly. Now I don't have an undercoat for the hammock either, so it really draws all the warmth out of you. So definitely something I need to look into maybe investing in. But this new sleeping bag, the brand's Mont. It's an Aussie brand. This is a natural, I think it might be duck or goose down sleeping bag, and it's really warm, but yeah, just not having undercoat just draws the heat out from the hammock. So but yeah, so seems like it's a pretty clear morning. Seems like the sun's starting to pop over the ridge, so I think I might jump up and get the fire started and try and warm up, because yeah, pretty chilly. Another little tip, it's always good to wrap your socks around your top of your boots, just to close up the opening, because during the night there's plenty of spiders and creepy crawlers running around, and the last thing you want is to wake up in the morning, chuck your boots on, and find a little spider or something at the toe. And because around here there's plenty of funnel web spiders, and they're pretty poisonous. So yeah, also it gives a chance to air out your socks. So yeah, another little tip. yeah, so just got some powdered milk, and just add water, and then just some muesli. This brand's called Carmen's. I think it's a fruit and nut mix. Really tasty. It's got a bit of cinnamon in it, so it gives it a lot of flavour. Bloody plains. Pretty tasty. Yeah, so today I think I might have a little bit of a poke around and see what else I can find around here. It was a bit of a shame last night, or this afternoon, even though I sort of arrived here at the site at about 3ish. The sun sets at about, 4:45, so I spent too much time sort of like having a look around and checking out the joint. And so by the time I started setting up a shelter, yeah, I had about half an hour left to light, and it just got too dark, and the spot that I was trying to set up just wasn't quite big enough for what I wanted to do. I wanted to try and set up an Adirondack shelter. I think that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, I've never set one up before, so I was trying to sort of get my head around how to make it work and stuff. And I just started to lose the light, and I was like, scrap it. I might just chuck up the hammock and the tarp, which was a bit chilly, but yeah, it worked. So I think today maybe I'll try and make a shelter, whether it's there's a lot of deadfall around here, so I could potentially make a natural shelter, or just make another shelter with the tarp and sleep on the ground, because I've got my inflatable mat, so that'll give you a bit more insulation and should be a bit warmer. But yeah, pretty keen to check out this spot. It seems like a really nice area. I have camped a fair bit up the river, but never this far down, so it seems like not many people come around here. It seems like I'm pretty secluded. It was a bit of a mission getting here. It took a fair few hours of bush bashing, so I think I've got it all to myself, which is nice. But yeah, and I'll finish up in brekkie and then get going, maybe have a little walk around or start building something, so yeah. So you guys just saw me use a millbank bag to collect and filter that water. I sometimes use a soy filter, but not always. It really depends on where I am. But yeah, so my question is, like, do you think it's okay just to use a millbank bag and filter the water but not sterilize it? I've drunk out of this river plenty of times before and I've never had a problem. It tastes really fresh. It tastes better than the water at home, to be honest. I definitely always drink out of the parts where it's flowing, sort of the upstream where it's the little cascades and waterfalls. But more my question is, like, these parts where it's a bit stagnant, where they're collecting bodies of water at pools, do you think it's okay to drink out of there without sterilising? There's no agriculture or houses around here, so I'm not worried about runoff. There are little fish in there, and I have seen an eel or two. Not many mosquitoes. I've never really seen mosquitoes hanging around the shore, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, curious to hear what you guys think, because obviously it's much easier just to fill it up in the millbank and just filter it into the bottle and then drink it straight. I'd much rather do that than to boil it, but maybe I'm missing something. I'd like to hear what you guys, your thoughts, and if you think I'm missing out on something. Yeah, so leave a comment. So I've just come across this acacia longifolia, or the golden wattle. You can see how it gets its name. It's got these really long leaves. But a really useful thing with this plant is you can actually use it to make some bush soap to freshen up. So just pick off some of the leaves, try and get them from different branches, so you're not just focusing on one branch and hurting the tree at all. Kind of only need it sort of a palmful. Like even that should do. Yeah, so you just want to get the leaves and crush them up. Yeah, so a few acacias or wattles have this property. So the leaves have a saponin in it, and that's what creates the soapy residue. Not all wattles, but some do. So like the coastal wattle, you'll find can do it as well. But yeah, it's always worthwhile just trying it with different wattles you find. So just crush them up a bit. Just add a bit of water. And just you see like a soapy lather starts to form. Yeah, so that's really good. It smells nice and fresh. Like I've said in one of my other videos, Aborigines used to use this to sort of rub on them and mask their scent when they used to go hunting. So yeah, it's good for that. But yeah, just to freshen up when you're out bush. Yeah, it's always handy. Yeah, as I was talking about that, I realised I've actually got a wattle tattooed on the back of my arm. You can see it's a kookaburra holding some wattle in its talons. Yeah, so you can tell obviously I like my wattles. A guy called Sam Kane did this. He's based in Sydney as well. He's a legend. So really good tattooer. So if you're into tattoos, definitely check him out. He's also done that one, little camp scene on the beach. So yeah. Yeah, so I've just got to strap my foot because about 3 weeks ago I went camping just by myself. Didn't film it or anything, just decided to go out and just enjoy it by myself. But yeah, I managed to do a good one and slip off a rock and sprain it, which is it's just pretty bad. It was actually it was a Friday afternoon, probably about 4:30, and like I said, the sun sets about 5 o'clock. And so I didn't have long to before the sun set, and I was already hiking for about 2 hours or so, probably about 7 kilometers, and I was about 15 minutes away from where I was going to set up camp. And yeah, I just stepped down off a rock and just must have put my foot inside a ditch or something because yeah, I just put all my weight on it with a pretty heavy pack as well. I just heard the loudest snap. I almost thought I broke my leg or something. And so yeah, I managed to hobble my way to the campsite. Managed to just get set up quickly just before sunset. And then I was going to hike out the next day, but it was so swollen. So I decided to stay till the Sunday and yeah, and just rest up and stuff. But I'm shocking. I can't sit still. So on the Saturday, I just strapped it, took some Nurofen, and then just went for a bit of a walk. And it actually did it pretty good. Hey, I think because took my mind off the pain, and I guess the Nurofen probably helped. But I think it was good to sort of yeah, walk on it a little bit. It seemed to help it a bit. So then managed on the Sunday then to hike back out, and yeah, like it was a bit, just took my time because it was still pretty bad. And where I live, where I hike a lot, it's considered like sandstone country. So yeah, it's just rocks everywhere. You very rarely ever get flat level ground. So that's why it's always hard to find a spot to set up camp, because it's always yeah, real hilly and real rocky. So yeah, it made it a bit difficult to hike back out. But yeah, definitely got to be wary of that in the future. I've been in the physio the last couple of weeks just to try and get it better. The guy says, my physio says that it's going to be more susceptible to rolling in future, so I'll just have to be careful when I'm sort of yeah, moving around rocks and stuff, because you can't avoid it where I go. So, but yeah, it's pretty scary when you're by yourself and you hurt yourself pretty bad, because yeah, you haven't really got anyone to give you a hand, and there's no reception or anything. So I always carry a little PLB beacon, but I'm not going to set it off a sprained ankle. But there's something worse enough if I broke my leg, then I probably would have to. But yeah, really always like in your hands when you're out by yourself. You really got to yeah, look after yourself, and yeah. But anyway, it's getting better. This hasn't didn't do too much damage. So like I said, I did 3 weeks ago, and I managed to hike here today. So just taking it easy, and should be right. Bloody hell! You can be in the middle of nowhere and you can still find rubbish. This is probably the fourth balloon I found in the last couple of months. People sort of let them go and don't think where they're going to end up, and quite often they just end up in the bush or in the ocean, where animals can yeah, think it's like a jellyfish or something and swallow it. Pretty sad. So guys, think about where you before you let a balloon off next time. Just think about it. It's probably best not to. So I realise I haven't really done a good review of the new knife I got. So first off, it's made by a guy called Scotty Simmons. He calls himself Gidgee. He's based out of northern Queensland in Australia. Does really nice work. So he made this custom sheath for me. Really nice. With a fire steel holder. But this fire steel he didn't make, I actually made myself. Just bought a 10mm ferrocerium rod off eBay, and then some antler from the pet store. Then it's got a little striker with some gum nuts and a bit more of an antler. So, does the job. As for the knife, yeah, really nice. So if I hold it this way, you'll be able to see his little Gidgee signature. It's a Scandi grind. The scales, I believe it's lancewood, which is a really nice dark Australian hardwood. I'm pretty sure it's a hardwood. Yeah, so really nice knife. He's put a patina on it, but you can probably tell. I cut up some lemon the other day. It's yeah, I didn't realize how severe the patina would from the lemon would be. So it did a pretty good job on the front of the knife. I guess it gives it some character, doesn't it? So, but yeah, really nice knife. Really stoked with it. Really fits in the hand really well. Like it's not, the scales aren't too big. But they're not too small. It just fits perfect. So really stoked with it. So if you're in the market for a new knife, definitely check out Scotty Simmons Gidgee. I'll grab a stick and I'll sort of yeah, do some feathering on it just to see how it cuts. It's a close-up of the knife and the ferro rod. Yeah, so as you can see, it did a really nice job. A bit more of a natural patina up the front with the lemon, but still looks good. Just filmed a little breakdown of what gear I bought on this trip, so if you're keen to see it, I'll chuck a link up in the description or on the screen, however you do it. But yeah, I think it's time to get this shelter set up. Yeah, so there's the shelter. Man, it took me so long to get that set up. I'm not even going to show you guys the progress shots. I chopped and changed different styles so many times. Like I said, I've never really done a tarp shelter like this, so yeah, it's a bit dodgy, but I don't know, hopefully it'll do the job. though I feel like if the wind picks up, this thing is just going to sail away. But yeah, I've got the mat down there and then just a bug net just to keep any creepy crawlies off me. First time using it, so hopefully it works, because there are plenty of spiders running around at night time. Does look pretty cool though. Just going to collect some rocks to try and fix this fire pit, because it was a bit windy last night. Kept trying to sort of blow the embers, so I'm going to try and find some big rocks, big flat rocks, to try and build around it. So obviously want to try and check the spiders. Oh, it's a big rock. Yeah, looks pretty good. No spiders, I think. I reckon we put that big one at the back, I reckon. Oh, there's a little spider running away now. Yeah, cool. That should do perfectly. Some extra rocks. Yeah, much better. The good thing about this place is there is tons of firewood around. I don't even have to go looking for it. Look, it's right next to the camp, so easy days. See how this goes. Oh. Beautiful. Cut's awesome. Like I said, this is probably the second time I've used it, so. Some nice dense wood. Yeah, this is good. It's just that little bit extra blade length. Just makes it so much easier. starting to get a little bit dark now. I think the sun's just set, so probably got another 20 minutes of good light. Yeah, very good, very cool. Alright, time to get the fire started. Oh, there we go. Man, I've been flat out like a lizard drinking today. I think I definitely deserve this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Alright. Time for some grub. Tonight, got some broccoli. Pretty much always have broccoli. And if I can get it out. Oriental fried rice, but I realised I forgot the butter. Yeah, you need 2 teaspoons of butter. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Hopefully it's not too bland. So I need 1.5 cups of water, 415 mils. So it's pretty handy having the measuring increments on the side. I think I'll use this. Ow, hot, hot, hot. Who would have thought fire's hot? Just realised you got to add the rice while it's boiling, so which probably makes sense. Uh-oh. Hopefully it all fits in this belly. Whoa, that's a lot of rice. I've got the value pack. Yeah, maybe it's a bit too much. Oh, that is hot. Just let that simmer for a bit. Yeah, so I think I might just chuck the broccoli right in here. It's going to cook in the pan, but I've got no oil or butter, so I reckon I'll just give it a go like this, eh? I think that looks about done. Let's give it a go. Not bad, but a little bit bland. Needs a bit of salt or butter. Actually, I've got some jerky here. Might try and chuck some of that in and see how it goes. Try and break it up. As you can see, cleanliness is king in the bush. Not too bad. Yeah, a little bit bland. Definitely try and remember to bring some butter next time. I don't know how I forgot. I always bring it. It's usually one of the first things I pack. So, actually, what do you guys usually eat when you guys go hiking and camping and stuff? Because I tend to eat the same things over and over again. I get a little bit sick of them. I always have kangaroo steak and usually like a corn or something to go with it, which is fine. But when it comes to the second night, I don't usually want to bring any meat, so I always try and do something sort of vegetarian. Obviously you can buy this sort of like hiking, like pre-made meals and stuff that come in sort of the packets, like, yeah, kind of like this kind of thing. That's kind of got all the nutritional values, like what you should have in a meal. But yeah, I forgot to get them this trip, so wouldn't mind some other ideas though. Like, do you guys eat pasta or something? Though I've heard like pasta doesn't really have much nutritional value, like especially if you're not adding meat to it. So yeah, I thought I'd give this a go this time, but I don't think I'd do it again. It's not that good. But yeah, let us know. And also for lunches too, because I always tend to eat like tuna. You can get little sachets of tuna these days, so I always get a sachet of that with just some flatbread and yeah, a bit of cuppa mayonnaise or something. But once again, I'm not a huge tuna eater either. I just kind of eat it because it's convenient. But I don't know, kind of need some new ideas. So yeah, I'd like to hear yeah, what you guys eat. Try and inspire me with something new. Jerky though, I've only just started getting into jerky, and that, oh man, that stuff is a lifesaver. After like a big hike or something, a bit of jerky, man, absolute. Yeah, but trying to track down the good stuff. Like, girlfriend got some really good jerky in Sydney, in town, and that stuff was just, it almost just melted in your mouth. Whereas compared to like this jerky here, that's just stuff from Woolworths or Coles. It's pretty good, not too bad, but yeah, there's some good stuff out there. Just got to try and hunt it down. Yeah, anyway, I think I'll just sit back, enjoy this, try my best to enjoy this, pour myself a gin soon and just listen to some music and chill out for a while. It's been, I don't know, it seems like today I haven't stopped, even though I didn't really sort of go anywhere in particular. Yeah, I just sort of, yeah, it just seems to run around camp and do different things and stuff, so pretty keen just to chill, sit back and relax. So anyway, I'll, yeah, if there's anything else I want to film, I'll film it, but I think apart from that I'll probably see you guys in the morning, so yeah. Good morning, guys. Yeah, so last night was a much better sleep than the night before. Sleeping on the inflatable mat, man, it makes such a difference compared to the hammock. I wasn't cold at one bit, whereas the night before, I just kept waking up throughout the whole night, sort of shivering and stuff. So yeah, it's a real testament to show just that little bit of air insulation makes a huge difference. And a new sleeping bag is top notch. It does a really good job. So really stoked with it. I think during winter now I'll probably have to do more of this kind of camping rather than the hammock, just because yeah, it's a bit too chilly with the hammock. So I'm just gonna have to get better at constructing some tarp shelters and stuff, because yeah, like I said yesterday, this one was a punish to set up. Gonna have to watch a few more YouTube videos to get some ideas and stuff. So but yeah, woke up to a pretty nice morning. Pretty fresh today. I think it's only going to be top of about 15 degrees or something today, but really sunny. I've just got the billy on the boil at the moment. Gonna get some hot chocolate into me, make some breakfast in a sec as well. Apart from that, got to get heading back at about lunchtime to get home. It's probably another about 4-hour hike to get back home, so I'll get back to my car. But there is one thing, I'm going to sort of potter around here, and I want to do a little demonstration with the xanthorrhea, because there's heaps of xanthorrheas, or grass trees, or as they're commonly known, called black blues. There's heaps of them around here, so I'd like to do a little demonstration on just the uses of the plant, because there's tons of uses for it. It's probably one of the most, yeah, it's probably one of the best plants to know in the Aussie bush, because yeah, you can use it for a lot of things. So I'll probably do a demonstration about that. I don't know if I'll include it in this video or if I'll make a separate video for that part, but I'll probably do that this morning. And also on the hike back out, there's something I want to show you guys. It's a fair bit, it's probably another about hour or two walk, but last time I was sort of in this area, I found this really cool thing, so I'm pretty keen to go back there and show you guys what it is. But yeah, I think probably, yeah, actually no, I think I'll probably get some grub into me, potter around. I'll probably talk to you guys again before I pack up. But yeah, I think this water's probably about done. Yeah, so that's good now. All right, time to get some hot chocolate into me. This area around here is absolutely beautiful. It's got some really cool plants in it too. I'll go through and actually describe some of them. So for example, this one here, this tree is an Angophora costata, or a Sydney red gum. Real beautiful trees. They're very funny trees. They tend to gnarl out and go in all weird directions at branches. But it's a very good medicinal plant. So if you look at the kind of red kino that it oozes out, this isn't probably the best example, but it oozes out this red kino. Basically, if you break that off, grind it up, and then apply it to wounds, it's actually like a coagulant, so it'll heal the wounds. Also, if you have sort of diarrhea or something, you can put a little bit in a drink and drink it, and it'll sort of seize up your stomach, so yeah, you stop with the runs. So, but it's a really good plant to know if you've got a cut, just to apply it to it, and it'll sort of close up the wound pretty quickly. Also, you've got the Glyme lily here. Obviously, its beautiful leaves can be used to make mats and sort of dilly bags and weave some cordage and stuff. You could use it as the backing of a shelter to weave. Also, I don't know if you can quite see it, but these stems that it sort of shoots up, they go quite high. They have like a red flower at the top. This one's dead, but yeah, actually when the stems go about 1.5 meters high, you can actually cut them down and roast them up and eat them. And I believe you can also eat the roots of the Gaimi lily as well. Also, you've got some bracken just surrounding it, which is obviously good for insect bites. So applying, if you cut the stem of it and then rub the white sap that comes out, if you rub that on top of an insect bite, it will actually soothe it real quickly. You also lay them down as a mat. So when you're for your bushcraft bed, get a whole bunch of those and it'll make a nice springy bed. And we'll have a look at the black boy over here as well. So here you've got a Xanthorrhea, or its common name is a grass tree or a black boy. The reason it's called a black boy is because when the early settlers first arrived, they actually thought it resembled an Aborigine, obviously by its black base, some leaves resembling hair, and then the flower spike resembling a spear. So I don't know how politically correct that is, but a lot of people still call it that. Aborigines actually did used to use the flower stem as a spear because they're really straight, but they're also really good to, probably one of the best things to use for is fire by friction method. So whether it's a bow drill or a hand drill, just because the timber is really soft and pithy, so it forms an ember real quickly. Also the leaves, the base of the leaves are edible, and also the leaves are really sharp, so you can actually break them off and sort of spread them apart and then use it as to cut meat or something, kind of like a primitive knife. Also, they're really slow growing plants. They average about, I think it's about 2 centimeters or so a year. So this one here would, yeah, gosh, probably be like 100 years old or something. Yeah, and there's actually one just up there that's got it's broken off into two stems, so I'll get a close look at that. But yeah, also actually I'll go up and get a closer look and I'll explain the other properties. So here's a pretty impressive Xanthorrhea. You see the base is broken off separated into two stems, or 2 branches, and then it's got 2 flower spikes coming out. Let's take a closer look at the base, because that's where you find the valuable stuff. So focus. Oh, actually there's some right here. So yeah, so you're looking for, let me just zoom in on that. So you're looking for this kind of this resin. So what you can do is you can melt that down in the fire. It actually lets off a really nice aromatic smell. They actually used to use it as like an incense back in the day. But yeah, if you melt it down, it can turn into like a really hard cement glue. So you can add some fibrous, so like kangaroo dung or something like that, or some charcoal just to give it some strength. And then once it dries, it'll harden, and then it's really solid. And so Aborigines used to use it to secure stone heads to the shafts and stuff, to make like an axe, or to make some spears. Yeah, anything, or even to patch canoes and stuff. They used to use this. Yeah, so anyway you just want to sort of use some kind of glue or cement. So it's really valuable, this stuff. Really cool. Yeah, so I really wanted to try and demonstrate how to use the flower spike of Xanthorrhea to create fire, but I'm in a bit of a hurry. I've got to get back. It's just after lunchtime and I've got a 3 or 4 hour hike to get home, so I've got to get going. But next time I'll definitely show you how to use it. Really cool. Yeah, a really cool plant to know, black boy. It's another impressive Xanthorrhea, probably about 2 meters high, which means it's probably at least 100 years old. It's actually a lot of them around here. Man, this is a cracker of an example of a Xanthorrhea. You can see at the top, she's broken off into 3 trunks. Man, she'd be an old girl. Yeah, so there's actually a fair few useful plants just in this one area. There's even actually a Banksia just here, an old man Banksia. The flowers are dried up. Usually they've got some they're a nice orange colour. Well, they're variant with different species. But when they're fresh flowers, you can actually soak them in water and get the nectar out and make like a sweet drink. If I just break that off, you can see, yeah, it's just like a hairy. So let me just try and focus a bit better. Yeah, but you can actually break all this stuff off and use that as a sort of a tinder. You can even strike a ferro rod to it and you'll get a flame off it. So, oh, yeah, so they're pretty useful as well. But yeah, nice area. Got a lot of useful plants. I thought I'd show you what happens when you have your tarp too close to a fire. Yeah, when I was doing the 5-day hike in the Budawangs, I used my tarp as a ground sheet, and I was just a bit too close to the fire, and one of the wood exploded and just threw embers everywhere. So yeah, got holes all throughout it. So I've just used some, I think it's called tear aid or something. It's like a little tape, just to patch up. It hasn't leaked yet, so I've had it out in the rain once and it's been fine. So, but you learn your lesson. Now, I probably don't have to tell you guys this, but yeah, just before you leave your campsite, make sure the fire is well and truly out. Probably poured about 2 litres of water onto this, so that should be good. So just taking down the shelter, just restored the area back to how it was, got rid of the fire pit, made sure all the embers were out. So yeah, leave no trace. Alright, I think I found it. It's just up ahead. Yeah, so this is it. It's an Aboriginal painting of a wallaby. A really nice big cave that they obviously would have slept in. There's a nice, yeah, nice big sandy part at the base. But that's so cool. There's another one over here. I'll show you that. Yeah, so kind of looks like a human figure, just with no mouth. It kind of looks like an alien. You can see its legs come down there and a leg go there. That, I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's a penis or if it's a tail or if it's meant to be some sort of, I don't know, creature, or if it's meant to be like a man or a woman. I'm guessing more a man if it's got a penis. Yeah, it's got some other line drawings that I can't quite make out. There's another thing up there as well. Almost looks like a person sitting down with their legs and their arm on their like knees, but there's no head. So I could be looking at it all wrong. It's very, very cool. Yeah, that wallaby, man, I was so stoked when I found that. Might be a bit hard to see because of the shadows, but there's some like, oh sorry, squeaky tripod. But there's like some tracks going through it. Kind of looks like there's like a tail running through. This might be a goanna, or maybe even a wallaby perhaps. I can see some little paw prints, but yeah, I don't know if you guys can identify them, let us know, but could be a wallaby, to be honest. Yeah, which would be really cool considering it's a wallaby painted on the cave wall. Yeah, if you have any idea, let us know. Yeah, so pretty cool find, eh? I found it a couple of weeks ago, just when I was sort of wandering around the area. And I came up this ridge and I just, I could see a cave, so I sort of, oh, let's go check that out. And as soon as I got over the last rock, I could just see the painting on the wall. It just, yeah, it took my breath away. It was a really, really special feeling. I love Aboriginal culture. I'm really, really interested in it. And just to stumble across this out of nowhere was pretty cool. I don't think you get many people around this area. I'm pretty tucked away. You have to hike for a fair few hours through bush bash to get here, so there's no trails, there's nothing around here, so you really have to want to find this kind of stuff to find it. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I'd like to know more history about it, like how old, I wonder how old it is. It's got to be at least 250 years old, because that's when Australia was settled. I wonder if it was they occupied the area quite frequently, or they just sort of, as they passed through, they'd sort of stay in this cave, or they spent long periods of time here. Yeah, I'd love to know some history, but anyway, I think that's what I wanted to show you guys. So I think I'm done filming now, so still got a few hour hike ahead of me. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Hooroo.